I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's City Council meeting.
Let's face it, a small-town city council meeting, well, it's hardly primetime viewing. But there are those moments, those few moments that should raise eyebrows.
Opposed? Motion is defeated 5-2.
Like that vote, the mayor of Lockhart and the majority of city council voting against competition, the best deal for the taxpayers. Whatever the reason, it's garbage. Seriously.
Central Texas Refuse has provided the service to the city of Lockhart for quite many years.
Actually, Central Texas Refuse has had the city trash contract in Lockhart for 32 years.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Since Ronald Reagan was president. And not once since then, not once, have local politicians ever let another garbage company even compete for the job. We watched it happen again Tuesday night when City Councilwoman Kara McGregor dared to try again.
Yes, I would like to make a motion that the city open itself up to an RFP process to accept proposals for our solid waste management contract.
Opposed? Motion is defeated 5-2.
The answer was no. But why? Council members McGregor and David Bryant were the only ones to support opening up the garbage contract to competition and the price war that could create. We called Bryant later to ask why.
In my opinion, an RFP gives our citizens a chance for the best rate and service possible. With more competitors, we get the best rates for our citizens.
We do need to look at this contract again and negotiate certain points about that as well. But I feel like we've got that kind of relationship where we can work these things out.
It's nice to have relationships, and Lou White has been the mayor of Lockhart for almost 10 years. But my guess, Mayor White, is that most folks in Lockhart just want their garbage picked up on time and for as little as possible.
Let the record show it was 5-1.
In November, Mayor White voted to keep that garbage monopoly alive, to negotiate another new contract with CTR without any competition. 2 days later, the guy in charge of CTR, Mike Levenko, texted the mayor to thank him for his support on their great partnership. But we also remember what the mayor said at that November meeting.
And if we can't come to an agreement, well then, we ought to look at Plan B.
That was more than 4 months ago, and the current garbage contract set to expire at the end of the month. Just a couple of weeks, but there was obviously no deal yet. So what was the holdup? Apparently, that's not your business.
I'll make it here. We motion to extend the contract with CTR for 60 days.
No one mentioned another development, a 3-page letter that arrived from Texas Disposal Systems. Quoting, "We have taken the liberty to prepare an unsolicited proposal." TDS is another Central Texas garbage company offering taxpayers a way to, quote, dramatically lower rates for all residents who opt to recycle. That can't be bad. They've been denied the chance to prove that for years. But their new deal, should that be kept from folks who actually pay the bills, Mayor? We say no. The local paper, the Lockhart Post-Register, covered the new barbecue restaurant the next day, but that garbage deal, we can't find a mention of a multi-million-dollar decision. But we do see the almost weekly ads in the newspaper from Central Texas Refuse.
Again, my name is Alfonso Cifuentes, and I reside here in Lockhart.
And you already know their pitchman, the same guy who worked for Green Group.
We offer our gratitude and thanks for the trust you have instilled in our team to provide the city solid waste and recycling services for many, many years.
It was the landfill fight with Green Group that brought us to Caldwell County in the first place. The Georgia garbage guys had been accused of poisoning a small town in Alabama with coal ash. In Texas, first they wanted to build a dump along Highway 6. We exposed secret deals made with politicians in Hempstead and caught folks lying. The public rose up to fight. It took a long legal battle to prove that testing records on the soil at the Highway 6 site had been destroyed. It took years to prove the dump would be dangerous for the water supply. But here in Caldwell County, well, the politicians, they folded. You can now see large mountains being carved out for the proposed dump near Lytton Springs, what used to be flat fields along 130. Mary DeVilla lives right behind the planned tower of trash.
It pisses us off. We've been here 6 years, and we moved from Austin to live out here in the country, and look what's going to happen now.
It was the Lockhart City Council that first heard last year that Green Group wasn't going to be the majority owner of the proposed dump anymore. A Florida company, IWSG, was now in charge, and they don't own a landfill anywhere else in the country. Caldwell County, well, they'd be a guinea pig for them.
Well, they haven't told us nothing, pretty much.
In our view, that's political malpractice, but we've been keeping track of the environmental troubles of the companies run by IWSG founders on a website called exposethedumps.com. Check it out. You can also get a taste for how lucrative the garbage business must be, and that's exactly the point. Down the street at the Caldwell County Courthouse, County Judge Hoppy Hayden doesn't ever want to talk about that proposed IWSG dump. He's not helping residents of Lytton Springs fight the dumps in court, won't protect the county's siting ordinance passed to stop the dump. And what happened to those real concerns about safety, fire protection, water? Remember the citizens group that was worried about safety? Their findings, their recommendations, ignored. That high-hazard dam next door? Just ignore it. New owners? What does it matter?
We're not going to have a public hearing. I know you want us to have a public hearing. We're not going to have a public hearing about it.
But folks like Mary don't seem to matter much to the county judge, do they? And it's why we've been watching Lockhart City Hall these last several months. IWSG took over Central Texas Refuse. At the same time, they took over the proposed controversial dump. Because a dump, well, it needs garbage. But that's their problem.
All right, Council. Tough night tonight. Good job.
A good job, Mayor, unless transparency and the best deal for taxpayers is what really matters.